I think the American dream is true. It's possible, it exists, because in America there's a lot of opportunities. Everyone wants to help you. If you're working and you're building something, in my experience, people are willing to help. They're willing to support you. And so long as you're working hard and innovating and building a really cool idea, it shouldn't be a problem. My name is Ade. I'm the founder of Adewunmi Skincare, and what we're doing is we're creating custom skincare solutions for beauty companies or cosmetic companies anywhere in the world. And the idea is that customers can go into a store, our AI system can scan their skin and make them a custom skincare product. So I always had trouble with my skin. I had a lot of acne when I was growing up. So I was always seeing dermatologists. Then eventually my main background was in managing some retail stores and coffee stores. So I was managing stores for like Nespresso, for Starbucks. And I really wanted to create kind of like a Starbucks experience, but for cosmetics. And that was where I started with the original idea. Yeah, so it's kind of like, how do you create a personalized experience for the customer? So right now when you go buy a skincare product, you essentially just go into a store and you look at the shelf and you buy a bunch of the products that are on the shelf. And my idea was, some customers have trouble finding the right ingredients. Some customers have trouble like with allergies. And I really thought, and also customers can choose their own scents. You can choose your scents or your texture. Skincare actually has a lot of different things that I think you could do. So I thought it would be a cool idea to create this kind of like a Starbucks, but for skincare. The main challenge, I think, as any founder who's new to the Silicon Valley is network. Here, it's really important to know the right people, which it is anywhere else. But I think from where I come from, or from like where you are, you probably know a lot of people, and you can build that network a little bit easier. For me, in the Silicon Valley, we don't really have that network, so we have to make a little bit of an effort to go around and talk to people and go to events. The really good thing is there are lots of events and there are lots of opportunities to build your network, but I would say that's the main challenge so far. For me, because I am from Canada, it's not very dramatic. A lot of the things that we do in Canada, you do here as well. The culture is a little bit different, but I don't have a barrier in terms of language or culture. So my first, I've only really been coming to the US for business for maybe about 6 months now. And it hasn't been crazy. Culturally, it's been okay. You just have to be ready to get right into it. You have to be ready to go out to events. You have to be ready to network, put your company out there, let people know what you're building. And it's not very hard. Like in a very short time, I've been able to build a pretty solid network of people. I came through Draper University, more specifically, so that also has helped me with my networking in the Silicon Valley as well. My first goal to achieve in the Silicon Valley is to raise a seed round for my company. We're raising right now 1.5 million. So my first goal is to do that. And while I'm trying to do that, I also want to get a really big customer. We're thinking of talking to Sephora or Ulta. They're like the largest skincare retailers here in Canada and in the US. So my second goal, or maybe you would say my first goal, because we're doing them at the same time. We're gonna raise money and we're also gonna get our customer. For me, with a positive attitude, expect to get a lot of no's from investors. I learned that already, that investors will give you no a lot. And the idea is, don't be worried, it's normal. We just have to try and keep talking to investors, keep reaching out to investors, And the really important thing is your connections or your network is the most important. So if someone can give you an intro to an investor, it will be dramatically better than if you just send the investor like a cold email because the investor doesn't know you. So what I've been doing is trying to do both. Still send them the cold email, but at the same time trying to get warm intros from people that are in my network to those investors. So far, so good. What are some of the biggest lessons that I'm learning while I'm in Silicon Valley? The biggest lessons I'm learning so far is networking. Number one, it's like you need to put yourself out there, you need to build relationships, you need to leverage those relationships to meet other people who can possibly help you in what you're doing. That's why things happen so much faster in the Silicon Valley, is that everyone's willing to help and everyone is willing to connect you with someone else who can help. So make sure like in the Silicon Valley, you're like going out to lots of events, you're mingling with people and you're keeping up those connections on LinkedIn because they will help you connect to the next person. How did I do my market research in the Silicon Valley? I did my market research in the Silicon Valley by using the internet, by using Crunchbase. Crunchbase is a website where you can take any company's name and put Crunchbase next to it and it will tell you if that company raised money. Then based on that list, we can see if that company raised money, who gave that company money and who else has that company given money to. So it's kind of like a chain. And that's mainly what we've done to do our market research. So I ended up coming to Silicon Valley through Draper University. Draper University, we're in the building, one of their buildings right now. It's founded by Tim Draper, and it's a really cool opportunity to meet a lot of other founders, at the same time build relationships, and it teaches you a little bit about the culture in Silicon Valley. I think the American dream is true. I think it's possible, it exists, because in America, there's a lot of opportunities. Everyone wants to help you. If you're working and you're building something, in my experience, people are willing to help. They're willing to support you. And so long as you're working hard and innovating and building a really cool idea, it shouldn't be a problem. My biggest pain point right now is networking, right? It's the thing. So I've learned that if I have a problem, it's not really that I have a problem, I just don't know anyone who can solve that problem. So my biggest pain point is networking. Because I'm not from here, it's important to keep building those relationships and to keep finding ways to meet new people. So that's mostly what I'm working on right now, is connecting with investors, connecting with customers, and connecting with possible team members as well. My thoughts about the Korean cosmetic industry is that it's way more innovative than it is here in North America. A lot of men, like myself, actually use skincare products, whereas here I feel like most men are not using skincare products. Also, there's just more knowledge about routines and all the things, and there are a lot more companies that are actually making really good products. So I think the Korean cosmetic industry, for me, is my next place to go and check it out and learn. The company or individual that I would like to form a partnership with right now is Sephora, because they have a lot of stores and they have a lot of brands under those stores, and we think that our machines can live in a Sephora store and customers will have easy access to the machines. In 5 years, I see my company making the machines and customers actually knowing that these machines exist, and customers being able to participate and use the machine, I think is where I am in 5 years. I don't really know how many countries we will be in or how many stores, but it's gonna be at least at Sephora. So my advice to any early stage founders who's thinking about coming to the Silicon Valley is to first actually start building your network, right? Start figuring out who do you know that is in the Silicon Valley, or who do you know that knows someone in the Silicon Valley. Don't be afraid to put that information out there on the internet. reach out to anybody you know and make sure they start to introduce you, because here once people start introducing you, things move a lot faster and you just get a lot more productive. Thank you for watching this video and thank you for making the video as well. I appreciate it. You can find me easily on LinkedIn. My name is Adewunmi. I hope it's going to be somewhere on the video. And you can Google my company name is adewunmi.ca. And I hope to talk to you soon.